She was stealing your personal documents. The voice explodes into Michael Jordan's office like a bomb. Noah Bennett, the mansion's butler, bursts through the door, his face ashen, his hands trembling. "What did you say?" Jordan shoves himself up abruptly, knocking over his chair. "The new cleaning woman, sir. I saw her rummaging through your private drawer." Noah points to the desk. "With my own eyes." Jordan's heart pounds. That drawer contains multi-million-dollar contracts, information worth fortunes. He strides to the desk with heavy steps. "Are you certain of what you're saying?" "Absolutely." Noah approaches, whispering as if divulging a deadly secret. "And sir, there are people who are dishonest and avaricious." Jordan stops breathing. "Are you suggesting she's desperate for money?" "Precisely. These poor women will do anything for money." Noah shakes his head gravely. "Anything, Mr. Jordan." Jordan's hands tremble as he pulls open the drawer. The documents he always keeps meticulously organized are in disarray, papers out of place, contracts askew. "How dare she?" Jordan slams his fist on the desk, sending pens scattering. "How dare she violate my privacy?" Noah watches the fury build in his employer's eyes, a dangerous satisfaction gleaming on his face. "The question is, what are you going to do now?" She's still upstairs, probably looking for more things to pilfer. Jordan clenches his fists, his blood boiling. A cruel decision solidifies in his mind. The truth about Peyton Miller is about to be tested in the most unforgiving way possible. "Summon her, here, now!" Jordan's command echoes through the mansion's halls like thunder. Noah scurries away, his hurried footsteps ascending the marble stairs. Peyton Miller is in the guest room, carefully folding sheets, when Noah materializes in the doorway, like a sinister shadow. "Mr. Jordan wishes to see you, immediately." "Is there a problem?" Peyton asks, noting the icy tone in his voice. "You'll find out." Peyton descends the stairs, her heart heavy. Something in the air feels thick, menacing. As she enters the office, Jordan stands with his back to her, gazing out the panoramic window. His shoulders are rigid, but not with anger, with disappointment. "Mr. Jordan, you wish to see me." He turns slowly. His eyes do not burn with fury, but hold a profound sadness, like someone who has just discovered a betrayal. "Please sit down." "I'd prefer to stand, thank you." "Please, Peyton, sit down." The gentle tone surprises her. She perches on the edge of the chair, bewildered by the shift in atmosphere. "I need to ask you a direct question." Jordan walks slowly to the front of the desk. "And I expect you to be honest with me." "Of course, sir." "Do you consider yourself a dishonest person?" The question lands like a thunderbolt. Peyton feels the world spin. "What?" "It's a simple question. Do you consider yourself a dishonest person?" "No!" Peyton leaps from the chair, her face pale with shock. "Never! Why are you asking me this?" Jordan gestures toward the open drawer, his eyes filled with disillusionment. "Because someone went through my personal belongings, rummaged through my documents, and you were the only person who has been in this office today." "That's a lie." Tears begin to well in Peyton's eyes. "I would never do that. I would never violate your privacy." "Then how do you explain this?" Jordan indicates the disheveled papers. "These documents were perfectly organized yesterday. I don't know how to explain it." Her voice comes out as a whisper. "But I swear I didn't do it." "Peyton." Jordan moves closer, his voice soft yet firm. "If there's something you need to tell me, some personal situation, something that would lead you to do this, now is the time." Peyton feels her throat constrict. This is her chance to confide about her daughter's illness and the hardships she was facing. She could tell him everything, but the words remain lodged in her throat. "There's nothing to tell." She lowers her eyes. "I didn't do it." Jordan observes the conflict on her face, as if she were wrestling with herself to conceal something. For a moment he hesitates. There is something in her expression that doesn't quite align with that of a thief. "Very well." He retreats behind the desk, sighing heavily. "You can return to work." Peyton blinks, surprised. "Sir?" "I said you can return to work." At least, for now. Thank you, Mr. Jordan. I swear, You may go. Peyton hurries out before he can change his mind. As the door closes, Jordan sinks into his chair, running his hands over his face. Noah approaches slowly, observing his boss's perplexed expression. Sir, I think you've made a mistake. What makes you say that? She was clearly hiding something. Did you see how nervous she became when you asked about her personal situation? Noah shakes his head, concerned. These people are experts at feigning innocence. Jordan looks up, uncertain. She seemed genuinely shocked. Exactly, that's how they operate. Noah leans forward, his voice laden with feigned concern. Mr. Jordan, you're a good man. You trust people, but that can be used against you. What are you suggesting? Test her, without her knowing, Noah whispers conspiratorially. Put her in situations where her honesty is truly put to the test. If she's innocent, she has nothing to fear. Jordan hesitates, the conflict evident on his face. And what if she is genuinely honest? Then we'll find out. But if she isn't, Noah lets the sentence hang in the air. Sir, what do you have to lose? A few simple tests will reveal who she really is. Jordan glances at the rummage drawer, then at Noah. The seed of doubt, expertly planted, begins to sprout. What kind of tests? Jordan's question hovers in the air like toxic smoke. Noah approaches the desk, his eyes gleaming with a dangerous intensity. Something simple, discreet, Noah whispers, as if sharing a deadly secret. Something that will reveal who she truly is. Jordan sinks back into his chair, the conflict still etched on his face. Part of him wants to believe Peyton, but Noah's words echo in his mind like a virus. I don't know, Noah. She seemed genuinely shocked. Exactly. Noah slams his fist on the table, making Jordan jump. That's how they operate. They feign shock. They feign innocence. Mr. Jordan, these people study their victims. Victims? You, sir. Noah paces around the desk like a calculating predator. They know precisely how to act to elicit your sympathy. It's a well-rehearsed strategy. Jordan rubs his temples, a headache beginning to form. But how can I be sure? Noah stops in front of him, his smile turning more sinister. A wallet with cash, sir. If she's honest, she'll return it. A wallet. Simple and effective. Noah gestures dramatically. You leave a wallet with a considerable sum somewhere she'll be cleaning, without her knowing she's being observed. Jordan frowns, processing the suggestion. And what if she returns it? Then perhaps I am mistaken. Noah shrugs, but his eyes betray him. But if she takes it, then we'll discover her true nature. That doesn't seem right. Mr. Jordan, Noah interrupts, his voice laced with false urgency. You've been betrayed before. Do you recall what happened with your old accountant? With your former partner? Jordan freezes. The painful memories return like stabs. People he trusted, who robbed him without mercy. This is different. Is it really? Noah leans forward, his voice low and hypnotic. Or are you being naive again? How many times will you let people take advantage of your kindness? The words hit Jordan like well-aimed shots. His hands tremble slightly. She has something to hide, sir. I saw it in her eyes. Noah shakes his head gravely. The way she avoided talking about her personal situation, that's a sign of guilt. Perhaps she's just private. Or perhaps she's hiding something far worse than we imagine. Silence descends upon the office. Jordan looks out the window, observing the garden where Mason Blake is apparently tending to the plants. Unbeknownst to him, the gardener saw far more than he should have. How many employees have you had to dismiss for theft? Noah whispers, planting another venomous seed. 3 in the last 5 years. And how many of them seemed innocent at first? Jordan doesn't reply, but Noah sees the doubt growing in his eyes. A wallet, Mr. Jordan, that's all. If I'm wrong, I will apologize publicly. But if I'm right, and what if she takes the money? Then we'll know what kind of person we've truly hired. Noah smiles coldly. And we can take appropriate action before it's too late. Jordan remains silent for long seconds, the weight of the decision pressing down on his shoulders. How much money? $500. Noah replies immediately, as if he had already calculated everything. Enough to tempt anyone desperate. And where would she leave this wallet? In the living room, where she always cleans at 3 in the afternoon. The precision of the details makes Jordan realize that Noah has already meticulously planned everything. Noah? Jordan hesitates, feeling that he is about to cross a dangerous line. It's the only way to discover the truth, sir. Noah moves closer, his voice low and persuasive. Would you prefer to find out now, with a wallet, or later when she has access to your safe? The words fall like hammer blows. Jordan looks at the rummage drawer, then at Noah. All right, the decision comes out like a whisper. We'll do the test. Noah smiles, but Jordan doesn't see it. He doesn't notice the sinister glint in the butler's eyes. You have no idea that you've just signed the sentence of an innocent, and that the real predator is right beside you, savoring every second of the perfectly constructed trap. 3 in the afternoon. The mansion's clock echoes through the hall like a sinister countdown. Jordan walks through the living room, a brown leather wallet in his hands, his heart pounding erratically. $500 and $50 bills. Enough to tempt anyone desperate, as Noah had said. Are you sure about this? Jordan whispers to himself, placing the wallet strategically on the sofa, half hidden among the cushions. From a distance, it looks like it fell there accidentally. The perfect plan. Jordan leaves the room with silent steps, his stomach churning. He never imagined he'd one day be setting a trap for an employee. But Noah's words echo in his mind. It's the only way to uncover the truth. On the floor above, Noah positions himself behind the library curtain, affording him a perfect view of the living room. His eyes gleam with anticipation, like a hunter waiting for prey to fall into a snare. Let's see who you really are, Peyton Miller, he whispers, a cruel smile forming on his lips. 3:15. Peyton enters the room carrying her cleaning bucket and microfiber cloths. She's humming softly, a gentle melody that usually soothes her nerves. She still feels shaken from her conversation with Jordan, but at least she hasn't lost her job, yet. Just a few more hours and I can go home to see Emma, she murmurs, beginning to clean the coffee table. From the garden, Mason Blake lifts his eyes from the rose bed he was tending. Through the panoramic window, he sees Peyton working. There's something in the air that bothers him, a tension he can't quite explain. He saw Noah fiddling with Jordan's drawer earlier that morning. He saw the satisfied expression on his face. And now, Peyton wipes down the furniture with meticulous care. Every surface is cleaned with attention, every detail checked. She's always been a perfectionist at her job. It's a matter of pride. When she reaches the sofa to clean the side table, something catches her eye. A brown leather wallet, half hidden among the cushions. Mr. Jordan must have forgotten it here, she murmurs, picking up the wallet with care. On the floor above, Noah leans forward, his eyes fixed on the scene. His heart races. This is the moment of truth. Come on, Peyton, he whispers malevolently. Show me your true self. Peyton opens the wallet to verify it's truly Jordan's. She sees his driver's license, a few credit cards, and her eyes widen. A thick wad of $50 bills. So much money. Enough money to... She immediately stops herself. It's not hers. It would never be hers. Mr. Jordan must be worried. She mutters to herself, quickly closing the wallet. But then a wicked thought crosses her mind, like a demon whispering in her ear. Emma needs a surgery. $500 would help with the medicine. He wouldn't even notice. She shakes her head violently, banishing the thought. No, she whispers to herself. That's wrong. Utterly wrong. From upstairs, Noah frowns. Why isn't she taking the money? Why is she just standing there, hesitating? Take it already, he whispers impatiently. Show your true colors. Peyton clutches the wallet tightly and heads for the room's door. She'll find Jordan immediately to return it. It's at this moment that Mason Blake, still watching through the window, sees something that makes him freeze. Peyton is holding a wallet he's sure wasn't there when he passed by the room an hour ago. And upstairs, partially hidden behind the curtain, he sees a figure watching intently. Noah. Mason's and Peyton's gazes meet through the window pane. He sees the confusion in her eyes, the wallet in her hands, the tension in her shoulders. She sees the worry on his face, as if he knows something she doesn't. For a moment, time stops. Two pairs of eyes meet, two people sensing something very dangerous is unfolding. Mason subtly points upstairs, where Noah is hidden. Peyton follows his gaze and sees a shadow moving behind the curtain. Someone is watching. Someone wants her to be caught with that wallet. But who? And why? Peyton's heart pounds as she realizes she might be walking into a carefully laid trap. The question that haunts her is it already too late to escape? Peyton knocks on the office door, her heart hammering. The wallet burns in her hands, evidence of a snare that almost ensnared her. "Come in!" Jordan's voice sounds strained. As she opens the door, she finds Jordan standing behind his desk, visibly nervous. Noah stands beside him, arms crossed, an expectant look on his face. "Mr. Jordan, I found your wallet in the living room." Peyton extends the wallet, her voice steady despite her nerves. Jordan blinks, genuinely surprised. He'd expected nervousness, apologies, perhaps even tears. Not this determined calm. "My wallet?" He takes the item, feigning surprise. "I didn't even realize I'd lost it. It was between the sofa cushions." Peyton maintains direct eye contact. "I verified it was yours using your driver's license, but I didn't touch anything else." Noah steps forward, his eyes narrowing. "You verified? That means you opened her wallet." "Yes." Peyton turns to him, not breaking his gaze. "To ensure it belonged to Mr. Jordan before returning it. It was the right thing to do." "And did you see what was inside?" Noah asks, his voice laden with insinuation. "I saw there was money, a lot of money," Peyton replies without hesitation. "That's why I came to return it immediately." Jordan opens the wallet, discreetly counting the bills. $500, all there, untouched. "It's all here," he murmurs, more to himself than to the others. Noah forces a smile that doesn't reach his eyes. "Good that the temptation wasn't greater than your honesty." "Temptation?" Peyton frowns. "Sir, this money isn't mine. I would never take something that doesn't belong to me, regardless of the amount." Even knowing no one was watching, Noah persists, his voice growing more aggressive. "Especially knowing no one was watching." Peyton lifts her chin. "A person's character is tested when they believe they are alone." The words hit Jordan like a blow to the gut. He looks at Noah, then at Peyton, feeling a profound shame welling up in his chest. "It's true," Jordan whispers. "Thank you for returning it, Peyton." "Always, Mr. Jordan." She smiles genuinely. "May I return to work?" "Of course, you may go." When the door closes behind Peyton, the silence in the office is deafening. Jordan drops into his chair, running his hands over his face. "Well, it seems you were mistaken about her," he says without looking at Noah. Noah clenches his fists, frustration evident in every tense muscle of his body. "Or she's more intelligent than we thought." "What do you mean?" "Mr. Jordan." Noah walks to the window, pretending to contemplate the garden. "This woman may have realized she was being tested." "Impossible, we were discreet." "She's smart, calculating." Noah turns, his eyes blazing with a cold fury. People like that know when they're being watched. They develop a sixth sense for survival. Jordan shakes his head, perplexed. "Are you suggesting she returned the wallet because she knew it was a test?" "Exactly." Noah slams his fist on the table. "She played the game better than us. She gained your trust by pretending to be honest." "That doesn't make sense, Noah." "It makes perfect sense." Noah leans in, his voice low and persuasive. "Sir, think with me. $500 is tempting, but it doesn't change anyone's life. She might be thinking bigger." "Bigger how?" "Full access to the house. Your complete trust," Noah whispers, as if revealing a terrible secret. "And then, the real score." Jordan feels a chill run down his spine. Memories of past betrayals flood back with full force. "But she returned the money." "Because she's smart," Noah exclaims, then lowers his voice again. "Mr. Jordan, amateur thieves take $500. Professional thieves gain the victim's trust first." The office falls silent for long seconds. Jordan looks at the wallet in his hands, feeling increasingly confused. "What are you suggesting?" Noah moves even closer, his voice becoming a hypnotic whisper. "A harder test, something she can't resist." something that will reveal her true nature. Noah, it's the only way to be sure, sir. Noah places a hand on Jordan's shoulder. She passed the first test because she was prepared. Let's see how she reacts when she's not expecting it. Jordan glances out the window and sees Peyton returning to the living room, resuming her work as if nothing happened. There's something about her calmness that bothers him. Or is it the paranoia Noah has planted in his mind? What kind of test do you have in mind? Noah smiles, but it's a smile devoid of any humanity. Something irresistible, something no desperate person could ignore. And what if she passes this test too? Then I will apologize to her personally. Noah lies brazenly. But I'm certain it won't be necessary. Jordan looks at Peyton again, who is now cleaning the table where the wallet had been. She seems so innocent, so genuine. But Noah's words echo in his mind. Professional thieves gain the victim's trust first. All right, Jordan whispers, making a decision that will haunt him forever. But this will be the last test. Noah turns his back, concealing his victorious smile. He knows it won't be. 2 hours later, Noah knocks on Jordan's office door with calculated urgency. Sir, desperate people don't turn down $500 unless they're aiming for something much bigger. Jordan frowns, uncomfortable with the direction of the conversation. What are you suggesting? A real test, something no one in dire financial straits could possibly ignore. Noah leans forward. $10,000 in an envelope. $10,000? Jordan recoils in his chair. That's a lot of money. Precisely, it's life-altering money. It's problem-solving money. Noah watches Jordan's reaction intently. If she truly has desperate financial needs, as we suspect, this would be the ultimate test. And where would we leave this envelope? At the laundromat. She always goes there at 5 o'clock to pick up her things before leaving. Noah already has it all planned out. A thick envelope with medical emergency written on the front. Jordan's stomach churns. This seems cruel. Cruel as being defrauded by someone you trust. Noah slams his fist on the desk. Mr. Jordan, you've already lost a great deal of money trusting the wrong people. You cannot afford to make that mistake again. The words strike their mark. Jordan lowers his gaze, recalling past betrayals. And what if she returns that money too? Then I'll publicly retract and apologize. Noah lies brazenly, but I bet it won't happen. Jordan remains silent for long minutes. Finally, he sighs heavily. All right, but this is truly the last test. Noah smiles, but it's a blood-chilling smile. Of course, sir, the last. Time passed, and it was already 5 in the afternoon. The mansion's laundry room was plunged into silence. Peyton enters to retrieve her bag and coat, eager to head home. That's when she spots the envelope. Thick, white, with medical emergency, scrawled across it in large, red letters. Her heart stops. Literally stops for 3 seconds. My God, she whispers, picking up the envelope with trembling hands. It's heavy, very heavy. It's at this moment that Noah appears in the doorway, like a malevolent shadow. There's $10,000 in that envelope. That money can solve a lot of problems. Interesting, isn't it? The mention of the sum makes Peyton swallow hard. $10,000 would indeed alleviate many of her financial hardships. But that would be stealing. Would it? Noah tilts his head with a predatory grin. If no one knows, did it really happen? Peyton clutches the envelope tightly, her hands visibly shaking. Morality and desperation wage a brutal war in her mind. I can't do this, she whispers, more to herself than to Noah. Of course you can. Noah circles her like a predator. Peyton, I'm going to ask you a question. Are you experiencing financial difficulties? Peyton hesitates. It's a personal question, but the answer is obvious to anyone observing her situation. Like anyone who works as a cleaner, she replies diplomatically. Overdue bills, rent in arrears, Noah presses. Sleepless nights wondering how to pay expenses? Tears begin to well up in Peyton's eyes. He was describing her life exactly. That doesn't give you the right to steal, she whispers. It's not stealing when no one will miss it. Noah stops in front of her, his voice low and hypnotic. Jordan spends $1,000 on wine in a single night. For him, it's an insignificant sum. But for me, it would be stealing. For you, it would be survival. Noah moves closer. How many times have you chosen between eating and paying a bill? How many times have you had to humiliate yourself asking for an extension? Peyton closes her eyes, tears streaming freely now. Every word he uttered struck an exposed nerve in her life. $10,000 wouldn't solve all your problems, but it would give you breathing room, Noah whispers. A chance to breathe, to not worry, at least for a few weeks. But I would know I stole it, Peyton says, wiping tears with the back of her hand. I would know. Or you'd know you finally did something for yourself. The phrase lands like a bomb. Peyton looks at the envelope, imagining all the bills she could pay, all the problems she could fix. I can't, she finally decides, extending the envelope to Noah. I can't steal, regardless of my situation. Noah doesn't take the envelope. Instead, he takes a step back. Where are you going with that money? I'm returning it to Mr. Jordan. He's not watching you, Peyton. Noah blocks her path to the door. He doesn't even know you found the envelope. Then how did you know I was here? The question catches Noah off guard. He hesitates for a beat too long. I was just passing by. Passing by, Peyton repeats, suspicion growing in her voice. At the laundromat, at 5 o'clock, exactly when I find an envelope with $10,000. Peyton, you're questioning this too much. Where is Mr. Jordan now? She interrupts. In his office, but... Then I'll speak with him. Peyton tries to get past Noah. I'll return it personally. Noah completely blocks her path. Where are you going with that money? He's not watching you. No one needs to know. The repetition of the words, the physical obstruction, the strange insistence, it all sets off an alarm in Peyton's head. Get out of my way. Peyton, be smart. You're struggling to survive. Get out of my way. Noah realizes he's lost control of the situation. His mask of feigned compassion begins to slip, revealing something far more sinister beneath. You're making a mistake. His voice shifts entirely, turning cold and calculating. A mistake that could cost you dearly. What are you talking about? I'm talking about reality, Peyton. Noah doesn't move from the doorway. You're a cleaner, no higher education, struggling to pay your bills, too proud to accept an opportunity when it presents itself. The words are like shots, cruel, direct, meant to wound. What opportunity? Stealing? Surviving, Noah explodes. Do you think Jordan would notice $1,000? He spends that on wine in a single night. That doesn't make it right. And continuing to live in poverty makes it better? Noah approached, his voice low and venomous. What kind of person lets pride outweigh their own dignity? Peyton recoiled, shocked by the cruelty of his words. You're trying to make me steal. I'm trying to save you from your own stupidity. Noah lost his composure completely. $10,000. Just take it, and your problems will lessen. Why are you doing this? Peyton whispered, finally understanding something was terribly wrong. Why do you want me to steal this money so badly? Noah realized he'd revealed too much. He tried to backtrack, but it was too late. I'm just trying to help. Lies, Peyton pointed at him. You want me to get caught stealing? Why? You're being paranoid. There's no test, is there? Jordan doesn't even know about this envelope. Noah fell silent, but his face said it all. My God, Peyton whispered, the truth crashing down like an avalanche. It was you. You went through Mr. Jordan's desk. You planted this suspicion. You're trying to frame me. Prove it, Noah whispered with a cruel smile. Why? Tears of rage streamed down Peyton's face. What did I ever do to make you hate me this much? You showed up, Noah replied with chilling coldness. You showed up with your pathetic honesty, your irritating morals, your perfect way of doing the job. Jordan was starting to trust you more than me. So it's about jealousy? It's about survival, Noah snarled. I've worked for him for 5 years. 5 years building trust, access, control, and then you arrive. He stopped, realizing he'd said too much. Control? Peyton frowned. What kind of control? Noah sensed his mistake. He tried to recover, but a new voice cut through the silence like a blade. The kind of control that allows you to steal from your employer for years. They both spun around to see the gardener, Mason Blake, standing in the laundry room doorway, his eyes fixed on Noah with an intensity that could melt steel. "Mason!" Peyton exclaimed, a wave of relief washing over her. "I saw everything," Mason stated, stepping slowly into the laundry room. "I saw you going through Mr. Jordan's desk yesterday morning, Noah. I saw you planting evidence. I saw you spying on her today." Noah paled but tried to maintain his composure. "I don't know what you're talking about." "I know exactly what I'm talking about," Mason said, approaching, his voice low and dangerous. "I saw you stealing money from the safe 3 months ago. I thought I was imagining things. But today everything makes sense. You can't prove anything." Noah recoils, but Mason keeps advancing. "I can, and I will." Mason pulls his phone from his pocket. "Because I filmed it all. Every conversation, every manipulation, every lie you spun today." Noah's face shifts from pallor to murderous rage. You! Watch your next words," Mason warns. "Peyton, get out of here. Go straight to Mr. Jordan. Tell him everything. And you? I'll make sure our friend here doesn't destroy the evidence." Noah glances from Mason to Peyton, realizing his meticulously constructed trap is crumbling. "You have no idea what you've just done," he whispers with a chilling fury. "No idea." Mason smirks, but it's a humorless expression. "Actually, Noah, I think we know exactly what we've done." And as Peyton sprints to find Jordan, clutching the envelope as proof, Noah realizes the hunter has become the prey. Peyton races through the mansion's corridors, the envelope clutched in her hands, her heart hammering a frantic rhythm. Every footfall echoes like a war drum, heralding the demise of Noah's scheme. Behind her in the laundry room, Mason watches Noah with predatory eyes. "You made a very grave mistake," Mason murmurs, keeping his phone held aloft. "What mistake?" Noah attempts to maintain his composure, but the sweat beating on his forehead betrays him. "You thought no one was paying attention?" Mason advances slowly. "But I always was. Always." "I don't know what you're talking about." 3 months ago," Mason stops directly in front of him, "I saw you leaving Mr. Jordan's office at 2 in the morning. I thought it was odd, but I didn't say anything." Noah pales. "You were imagining things? Then there were the bills." Mason continues, relentless. "I noticed the household expenses had increased, yet the services remained the same. Someone was overcharging, siphoning funds. That doesn't prove..." "And today," Mason raises his phone, "today you gave yourself away completely, trying to frame an innocent woman to cover your own crimes." Noah eyes the phone, then the door. He's calculating his escape routes. "Don't even think about it," Mason warns. "I've already emailed a copy of the recordings to myself. If anything happens to me..." "You don't understand!" Noah suddenly explodes. "She was going to ruin everything. Jordan was starting to trust her more than me. And that gave you the right to frame her? 5 years!" Noah slams his fist against the wall. 5 years building access, earning trust. And then she shows up with this infuriating honesty. Mason shakes his head, disgusted. "Infuriating honesty. Did you hear what you just said?" Meanwhile, Peyton arrives at Jordan's office. She knocks urgently. "Come in." Jordan's voice sounds weary. As she bursts into the office, Jordan stands up, alarmed. "Peyton? What happened? You look..." "Mr. Jordan, I need to tell you something urgent." She places the envelope on his desk. "About Noah, about the tests, about everything." Jordan looks at the envelope, recognizing it instantly. His face morphs from confusion to panic. "Where did you get this?" "Noah gave it to me at the laundromat. Said it was a test from you." Peyton breathes heavily. "But it wasn't, was it? You didn't even know about this envelope." Jordan falls silent, guilt etched on his face. "Oh my God," Peyton whispers, understanding dawning. "You knew about the tests." "Peyton, I can explain." "You actually thought I was a thief." Tears of rage and disappointment begin to stream down her face. Even after I returned your wallet, Noah convinced me that— Noah lied, Peyton interrupts. He went through your drawer. He planted the evidence. He's trying to frame me. Jordan slumps back into his chair, running his hands over his face. What have I done? More importantly, what are you going to do now? A new voice echoes from the doorway. They both turn to see Mason entering the office, pushing Noah ahead of him. Mason? Jordan stands up, bewildered. What's going on? Your loyal butler has a few confessions to make. Mason forces Noah to sit in a chair. Tell him, Noah, about the safe, about the money, about everything. Noah remains silent, but Mason presses play on his phone. Noah's voice rings out in the office. I've worked for him for 5 years. 5 years building trust, access, control. Jordan turns pale. Control? What control? Mason continues the recording. I saw you stealing money from the safe 3 months ago. Stop! Noah shouts, but it's too late. The truth is unfurling like a tumor being excised. Jordan looks from Noah to Mason, then to Peyton. How long has this been going on? From what I've observed, at least 3 months, Mason replies. Maybe longer. He's very careful, taking small amounts so as not to raise suspicion. But why frame Peyton? Because she's too good at her job, Mason says, glancing disdainfully at Noah. Jordan was starting to trust her, to value her. Noah felt his control slipping. So you set a trap to convince me she was dishonest, Jordan whispers, horrified by his own naivety. And it worked, Peyton says, her voice thick with pain. You believed him without question. The silence in the office is deafening. Jordan looks at Peyton, seeing the disappointment in her eyes, and realizes he's lost far more than money. He's lost the trust of a genuinely good person. Peyton, he begins, only to be cut off by a strange noise. Noah, who had been unnervingly quiet, suddenly stands and rushes toward the window. He's going to jump, Mason yells. But Noah doesn't jump. He grabs a heavy crystal vase from the side table and raises it above his head. If I can't have control, he whispers, his eyes manic, then neither can anyone else. The vase flies toward Jordan. Everything happens in slow motion. Mason lunges to intercept. Peyton screams. Jordan raises his hands to shield himself. The vase strikes Mason squarely on the temple, and he collapses to the floor like a discarded puppet. Mason! Peyton cries, dropping to her knees beside him, checking for a pulse. Jordan remains frozen, staring at Noah, who now sports a chillingly unhinged smile. Now everyone knows the truth, Noah murmurs. But does it even matter? Mason could be dead, and who will be blamed? Jordan picks up his phone with trembling hands. I need to call an ambulance. Of course, Noah chuckles. Call the ambulance. Call the police. Tell them the whole truth about how you conspired against an innocent employee, about how your own suspicions led to this. The words hit Jordan like daggers. He realizes that in unmasking Noah, he has also exposed himself. Mason's breathing, Peyton announces, relief flooding her voice. But he needs urgent medical attention. Jordan dials 911, his hands shaking so violently he can barely hold the phone. Noah watches with sickly satisfaction, knowing that even in defeat, he has managed to sow chaos and destruction. Hello? I need an ambulance and police. Jordan speaks into the phone, but as he does, a terrifying question echoes in his mind. When the authorities arrive and investigate, who will truly emerge as the villain in this story? Noah may have been exposed, but Jordan conspired against Peyton too. Justice will be served, but at what cost? And Mason, the sole true hero of this tale, lies unconscious on the floor, bleeding. Was the price of truth simply too steep? 6 minutes later, sirens pierce the mansion's silence like war cries. Red and blue lights flood the study through the windows, transforming the room into a battlefield. Mason still lies unconscious on the floor, a trickle of blood tracing a path from his temple. Peyton applies pressure to the wound with a towel, whispering words of encouragement he cannot hear. Jordan stands by the window, watching the paramedics and police arrive. His shirt is stained with blood, Mason's blood, the blood of a man injured defending the truth. Noah remains seated in his chair, strangely calm now. as if the violence had soothed something savage within him. "They're here," Jordan announces unnecessarily. "Good," Noah whispers with a smile that doesn't belong on a human face. Now the real fun begins. The study door bursts open. Two paramedics rush in, followed closely by two uniformed police officers. "Over here," Peyton shouts, waving the paramedics over. "He was hit in the head." The paramedics kneel beside Mason, gently nudging Peyton aside. They begin checking vital signs, examining the wound, prepping equipment. "Strong pulse, stable breathing," one paramedic announces. "Possible concussion. We need to get him out immediately." Meanwhile, the police officers survey the scene. One of them, a tall man in his 40s with seasoned eyes, approaches Jordan. "I'm Detective Rodriguez. Did you make the call?" "Yes, Jordan hesitates, glancing at Noah. "There was an incident." "I can see that," Rodriguez observes the shattered vase, the blood on the floor, the palpable tension in the air. "Is someone going to explain what happened here?" It is at this moment that Noah slowly rises, a perfectly rehearsed victim's expression settling onto his face. "Detective," his voice comes out trembling, laden with false trauma. "Thank God you've arrived. I don't know if I would have survived much longer." Rodriguez furrows his brow. "What do you mean?" "She ... Noah points a trembling hand at Peyton. "She was trying to rob me. When I discovered her, she became violent." "What?" Peyton leaps up, incredulous. "That's a lie." "Peyton, please." Jordan attempts to intervene, but Noah continues. "She took money from my envelope, Detective. $10,000. When I confronted her, she grabbed this vase and..." Noah gestures towards Mason, being carried away by paramedics. "Poor Mason tried to defend me." Rodriguez looks from Noah to Peyton, then to Jordan. Years of police experience have taught him to read situations, and something about this one doesn't add up. "Mr. Jordan, does this version align with what you witnessed?" Jordan opens his mouth, but no words emerge. He is paralyzed between the truth and misplaced loyalty. "He's lying!" Peyton explodes. "Detective, I can explain everything. Noah was trying to frame me. He's been stealing from Mr. Jordan for months." "Of course you'd say that," Noah shakes his head sadly. "It's her word against mine, and I have evidence." "What evidence?" Rodriguez inquires. Noah smiles and points to Peyton's bag, discarded in the corner of the office. "The money is in her bag, the $10,000 she stole." Rodriguez looks at Jordan. "May I examine Mrs. Bag?" "Of course," Peyton says immediately. "Examine it. There's nothing in there." But as Rodriguez opens the bag, his expression shifts. Slowly, he pulls out a thick envelope. "This isn't mine," Peyton screams, terror mounting in her voice. "I've never seen this money in my life." "It's the same envelope I prepared this morning," Noah states solemnly, "with my money inside." "When did you put this in my bag?" Peyton whirls to face Noah, eyes blazing. "I didn't put anything," Noah replies calmly. "You took it from the laundry." "Enough!" Jordan suddenly bellows, causing everyone in the office to turn towards him. "Enough with the lies!" Noah pales, realizing he's lost control. "Mr. Jordan, what are you doing?" "Detective Rodriguez," Jordan says, walking towards the officer and completely ignoring Noah. "I need to confess something. Peyton didn't steal anything. I set her up." "What do you mean?" Rodriguez frowns. "I was testing her." Jordan runs a hand over his face, shame evident. "Noah convinced me she was dishonest. First, I left a wallet with $500 to see if she'd take it. Then this envelope with $10,000. She returned it all. Every cent. She's the most honest person I've ever met, and I treated her like a criminal." Rodriguez looks from Jordan to Peyton, then to Noah. "So you didn't steal the money, Ms. Peyton?" "Never," Jordan replies categorically. "She's innocent, completely innocent. The culprit is him." He points at Noah. "Mason discovered Noah had been stealing from me for months. That's why he attacked Mason." Noah realizes his narrative is crumbling, but a sinister smile forms on his lips. "Very touching, Mr. Jordan." His voice changes completely, becoming cold and calculating. "But you just confessed to a crime." What? Jordan stops, confused. Detective, Noah turns to Rodriguez with renewed confidence. What you just heard was a confession of workplace harassment and systematic persecution against an employee. Jordan's blood runs cold. Noah, what are you talking about? Mr. Jordan just admitted he conspired against a vulnerable employee. Noah says directly to the detective. A woman in a desperate financial situation. He created psychologically abusive situations to test her, causing immense emotional distress. Rodriguez frowns, sensing the complexity of the situation. Is that true, Mr. Jordan? Jordan opens his mouth, but realizes the trap. If he denies it, he'll be lying to the police. If he confirms it, I was trying to protect my assets. Protect? Noah laughs coldly. Or humiliate a woman who desperately needed her job. How many nights did she lose sleep worrying she'd be fired? How much psychological torture did she endure? Peyton looks at Jordan, seeing for the first time the extent of what she suffered. The sleepless nights, the constant anxiety, the fear of losing her job. It was all orchestrated. Detective, Noah continues, relentless. Jordan confessed to workplace harassment against an employee. That's a serious labor crime. And then there's the matter of the money in her purse. What money? Rodriguez inquires. Noah gestures towards Peyton's bag. The money she was trying to return when we arrived. It's all documented. Rodriguez inspects the purse, finding the thick envelope. That's not mine, Peyton exclaims. He put it in my purse. Prove it, Noah whispers. Rodriguez surveys the scene, assessing the situation. Jordan has confessed to emotional abuse. There's money in Peyton's purse. Mason, the sole independent witness, is unconscious. Mr. Jordan, I'll need you to come with us for clarification regarding the emotional abuse, Rodriguez announces. And Miss Miller, regarding the money found in your possession. This is insane, Jordan erupts. I was trying to do the right thing. I was trying to protect her. Protect? Noah shakes his head sadly at the detective. He psychologically tortured her for days. That's not protection. That's an abuse of power. Rodriguez sighs heavily. Both of you will have to come with us. This situation requires proper investigation. As handcuffs click around Jordan's wrists, Noah watches with unadulterated satisfaction. You know what the beauty of this is? He whispers to Jordan as he's escorted away. I turned your attempt to do the right thing into a confession of a crime. You're a monster, Jordan hisses back. And you're an idiot, Noah replies with a cold smile. You'll answer for emotional abuse, and I'm just a traumatized victim who survived an attack. As the car doors slam shut, separating Jordan and Peyton, Noah remains standing at the mansion's entrance, free, victorious, and utterly unscathed. He had twisted Jordan's honesty into a confession of crime and Peyton's innocence into evidence of guilt. But as he watches the vehicles drive away, Noah fails to realize one crucial detail. Outside the mansion, concealed within the trees, someone has recorded the entire conversation. Someone Mason contacted before entering the laundry room. Someone who now holds the evidence that could bring Noah down once and for all. The question is, who is this person? And will they arrive in time to save Jordan and Peyton? Seconds after the police cars whisk Jordan and Peyton away, a woman emerges from the shadows of the trees surrounding the mansion. Sarah Blake, 35, a criminal defense attorney with determined eyes and an iPhone in her hands that could change everything. She still trembles from what she has just witnessed and recorded. An hour earlier, her brother Mason had called in a panic. Sarah, I need you to get to the Jordan mansion now. Something terrible is happening. Bring your camera, film everything you can. An innocent woman is being destroyed. Sarah knew her brother. Mason was calm, observant, never one to exaggerate. If he was desperate, the situation had to be dire. She arrived and concealed herself amongst the garden trees, affording a perfect view of the office window. And she filmed every second. Jordan's courageous confession, Noah's diabolical manipulation, twisting heroism into crime. Noah attacking Mason with the vase. And most importantly, Noah discreetly planting the envelope in Peyton's purse while paramedics attended to Mason. Now, Sarah sprints to her car, heart hammering against her ribs. The video on her phone is a bomb that could detonate Noah's entire charade. "Hang in there, Mason," she whispers, turning the ignition. "Your little sister's going to fix this mess." Central Precinct, 9:30 p.m. Sarah bursts through the main doors like a hurricane of resolve. Hair wine-tousled, eyes blazing, her phone clutched to her chest like a weapon. "I need to speak with the detective on the Jordan case," she bellows at the desk sergeant. "Ma'am, it's nearly 10 at night. It's an emergency. I have evidence that could exonerate 2 people and implicate the real culprit." The sergeant sizes her up. Rumpled suit, shoes caked with garden dirt. But something in her eyes convinces him she isn't bluffing. "Detective Rodriguez is in room 3, but he's..." Sarah's already past him, a blur down the corridor. She finds room 3 and raps on the door with enough force to splinter it. "Enter!" Rodriguez's weary voice echoes from within. Sarah pushes the door open to find Rodriguez seated behind his desk. Jordan in a chair to his right, his shirt still bloodstained. Peyton to his left, eyes red-rimmed from weeping. "Who are you?" Rodriguez asks. "Sarah Blake, criminal attorney. Mason Blake's sister." She strides into the room purposefully. "And I hold in my hands the evidence that will put Noah Bennett away for a very long time." "What evidence?" Rodriguez leans forward. Sarah raises her iPhone. "A video of everything that transpired today in the office, including Noah assaulting my brother and planting evidence in Peyton's purse." "Let me see that video." Rodriguez extends his hand. Sarah connects her phone to a laptop on the table. The screen fills with the image of the office as viewed from the window. The quality is flawless. The footage clearly shows Noah picking up the vase and attacking Mason. Then, while everyone's attention is focused on the injured man, Noah subtly slips the envelope into Peyton's bag. "My God," Rodriguez whispers. Peyton glances at the screen, then at Jordan, a mixture of relief and utter validation on her face. "Where is Noah now?" Sarah asks. "He was released," Rodriguez replies, his face pale. "He claimed to be a victim, and there was no evidence against him." "Well, there is now," Sarah says, ejecting the USB drive containing a copy of the video. "Everything you need to arrest Noah Bennett for attempted homicide, tampering with evidence, theft, and conspiracy." Rodriguez stands up, grabbing his radio. "All units, be on the lookout for Noah Bennett. An arrest warrant has been issued immediately." Meanwhile, Jordan looks at Peyton. "I'm so sorry for everything, for doubting you, for letting this happen." "You tried to do the right thing in the end," Peyton replies softly. "He manipulated us, just like he did everyone else." Rodriguez switches off the radio. "Mr. Jordan, Ms. Miller, you are officially cleared of all charges, and you will have our protection until Noah is apprehended." The next day, Sarah enters Mason's hospital room. He's lying there, his head bandaged, but his eyes are alert. "How are you feeling?" she asks, approaching the bed. "Like a truck ran over my head," Mason manages a weak smile. "But alive, thanks to you." "Thanks to you," Sarah counters. "If you hadn't called me, I knew Noah was dangerous. I just didn't know how much." Mason tries to sit up, wincing in pain. "Tell me everything." Sarah recounts the previous night's events, the video evidence, Jordan and Peyton's release, the manhunt for Noah. "There's something else," she hesitates. "Peyton finally told me why she needed that job so desperately." "Why?" "She has a daughter, Emma, 6 years old. She needs heart surgery that costs $100,000. Mason's breath catches. "My God, and she resisted the temptation to take $1,000 knowing that?" "Where is Emma now?" "Home with her grandmother. Peyton hasn't even told her she was nearly arrested. She didn't want to worry the child." Mason closes his eyes, processing the information. "And Jordan? How did he take it?" "Devastated. You realized you tested and psychologically tortured a woman who was struggling to save her daughter." Sarah shakes her head. "He wants to redeem himself, Mason. He wants to do the right thing." "And Peyton? Will she forgive him?" "I don't know. The hurt runs deep. Jordan participated in her humiliation, even if manipulated." It's at this moment that the door opens. Jordan enters carrying a bouquet of flowers and with an expression of guilt that could break hearts. "Mason." He approaches the bed. "How are you?" "Alive. And you?" "Destroyed." Jordan places the flowers on the bedside table. Mason, I have no words for what I did, for how I let Noah manipulate me against Peyton. You were deceived by a professional. Mason tries to downplay it. Number, Jordan shakes his head vehemently. I chose to distrust instead of trust. I chose to suspect instead of observe. Peyton showed me her honesty time and again, and I kept testing her. Sarah watches Jordan carefully. There's something genuine in his remorse. Jordan, can I ask you a question? Anything. If you had known about Emma from the beginning, would you have acted differently? Jordan pauses, considering the question. Yes. No. He runs his hands over his face. Honestly, I probably would have thought it made her more desperate, more likely to steal. The brutal honesty of the answer surprises Sarah. But I was wrong, Jordan continues. Completely wrong. A mother fighting to save her daughter who chooses honesty over survival, that's not weakness. It's the purest strength there is. And now, Mason asks, what do you intend to do? I want to pay for Emma's surgery, Jordan replies immediately. I want to offer Peyton the position of housekeeper. I want to try to fix the damage I helped create. And what if she refuses? Sarah asks. If she doesn't want your help, then I will respect her decision. Jordan sighs heavily. But I need to try. I need to at least try to do what's right. Sarah's phone rings. She answers. Sarah Blake. Yes. What? When? We're on our way there now. She hangs up, her face pale. It was the police. Noah has been located. He's at Peyton's house. When they arrive at Peyton's small house, they find police cars surrounding the block. Detective Rodriguez approaches them. Situation contained, he announces. Noah was apprehended without incident. How did he end up here? Jordan asks. Apparently, he wanted to confront Peyton one last time. He said if he couldn't have control, he was going to destroy her life completely. And Peyton? Emma? Both safe. Peyton called us as soon as she saw Noah approaching. Rodriguez smiles. Smart woman. They enter the house and find Peyton sitting on the sofa, hugging a little girl with curly hair and big eyes. Emma, Jordan whispers, seeing the child for the first time. Mommy, who are these people? Emma asks, looking curiously at the visitors. They are Mommy's work friends, Peyton replies softly. Jordan kneels in front of the sofa, bringing himself to Emma's eye level. Hi, Emma, I'm Jordan. Hi, Emma beams. Do you work with my mommy? Yes, and your mommy is the most special person I've ever met. Emma looks at Peyton, then back at Jordan. She really is special. She takes care of me when my heart hurts. The words hit Jordan like a punch to the gut. He looks at Peyton. Can I talk to you? In private? Peyton hesitates, then turns to Sarah. Can you watch Emma for a minute? Of course. Sarah sits next to the girl. Emma, what a beautiful drawing this is. While Emma proudly shows her drawings to Sarah and Mason, Peyton and Jordan head to the kitchen. Jordan, Peyton begins. Let me speak first. He interrupts. Peyton, I have no excuses for what I did. I tested you because I was afraid to trust. I doubted you because it was easier than believing in goodness. And I almost destroyed you and Emma in the process. Jordan, I want to pay for Emma's surgery, all $100,000, and I want to offer you the position of housekeeper in my home with a salary of $8,000 per month. Peyton freezes, blood draining from her face. I can't accept charity. It's not charity. Jordan shakes his head. It's justice. It's acknowledging that you deserve all of this and so much more. Peyton, you passed the hardest test there is, maintaining your honesty when you had every reason to abandon it. Tears begin to stream down Peyton's face. My daughter. Your daughter will grow up knowing she has a mother who never compromised her values, not even to save her. Jordan moves closer. That's the greatest gift you can give her. Outside, a siren fades away, Noah being taken where he can no longer harm anyone. Do you accept? Jordan extends his hand. Peyton gazes out the kitchen window, observing Emma laughing with Sarah and Mason in the living room. Her daughter, who will finally have the chance to live a normal life. I accept. She clasped Jordan's hand, but with one condition. Anything. I want to work for this future, not receive it for free. I will be the best housekeeper you've ever had. Jordan smiles for the first time in days. I have no doubt about that. A month later, Mount Sinai Children's Hospital is abuzz with celebration. Emma has just emerged from successful heart surgery. Peyton sits by her bedside holding her daughter's tiny hand. Even groggy from anesthesia, Emma smiles. Did it work, Mommy? It worked, my love. Your heart is perfectly fine now. Jordan watches from the doorway, not wanting to intrude on the mother-daughter moment, but Emma sees him. Uncle Jordan! She waves with surprising energy for someone who just had surgery. Jordan approaches, his eyes welling up. How are you feeling, champ? Strong, Emma flexes her little arm. The doctor said I can play like the other kids now. You sure can, Jordan glances at Peyton. And your mommy will never have to worry about hospital bills again. Peyton smiles. Over the past few months, she and Jordan have built a relationship founded on mutual respect and second chances. She manages the household with impeccable efficiency, and Jordan has learned the true value of trust. Sarah! Mason! Emma exclaims as she sees them enter the room. Mason, fully recovered, and now Peyton's assistant in management, approaches the bed. How is our favorite warrior? Cured, Emma announces proudly. Sarah moves closer to Peyton. Noah was sentenced yesterday, 10 years in prison. He'll serve every single day. And the money he stole? Fully recovered. Jordan is establishing a foundation for pediatric heart surgeries. Sarah smiles. The foundation's name? The Emma Institute. Peyton can't hold back her tears. All of this because of honesty, she whispers. Number, Jordan draws nearer. Because of your character. The honesty was just a small part of who you are. Emma, observing the adults around her, poses a question with the simple wisdom of children. Why did that sad man want to hurt us if we could be friends? Jordan kneels beside the bed. Some people forget that being good is more important than having things, Emma. But it's better to be good, right? Emma smiles. Because when you're good, people genuinely like you. Exactly. Jordan looks at Peyton. And good people deserve good things. Peyton reaches out to Jordan. Thank you for everything. For giving me a second chance, too. Thank you for teaching me that honesty still exists. Jordan squeezes her hand. And that it's worth trusting. Outside the hospital window, the city sprawls under the late afternoon sun. Somewhere, Noah is serving his sentence, learning that actions have consequences. But in room 312, a makeshift family celebrates the victory of honesty over greed, truth over manipulation, and love over fear. Emma draws a big heart on the paper, with several figures around it. It's our family, she explains. Everyone who looks out for each other. And maybe that's what truly matters in the end. Not the wealth we accumulate or the power we wield, but the people we choose to protect and who protect us back. Peyton's honesty saved more than just her own life. It saved all of their souls. Noah Bennett was sentenced to 10 years in prison for multiple crimes, continuous theft, evidence tampering, attempted murder against Mason, emotional abuse, and conspiracy. During the trial, Sarah's recordings were presented as primary evidence, and several other victims of Noah over the years came forward, revealing a pattern of manipulation and abuse that extended far beyond Jordan's mansion. The stolen money, over $400,000 hidden in offshore accounts, was fully recovered and used to compensate his victims and fund the Emma Institute. In prison, Noah lost all the charm and control he once possessed, becoming just another common inmate who learned, too late, that the truth always finds a way to come to light. He would serve every day of his sentence, while outside the people he tried to destroy built a life based on honesty and mutual trust. If this story touched your heart, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and share in the comments. Do you believe honesty is still worth it in today's world? Your opinion is very important to us, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our inspiring stories.